Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video we're going to be talking about all the players that you guys need to keep an eye on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 16 matchup versus the Houston Texans. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about it. First things first, before I start talking about the players to watch out for in this upcoming game, I'm actually going to be at this game myself. Gabby and Gabby's whole entire family is going to be there, and I know the question is going to be, well, James, some of us are going to be at the game too. How are we going to know it's you? Well, if you want to know, I will be wearing this jersey to the game, number 15 Hill. So if you guys are looking around, if you see somebody with a number 15 Hill jersey, that's probably me. Come up, say hey, let's talk about the Buccaneers, and just kind of hang out, have a great time. I'll be there pretty early in the morning, actually. I believe I will be getting there at around 10:30 a.m., something along those lines, so it should be a really fun time. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. With that being said, let's start talking about some of the players that you guys need to keep an eye on. First guy I want to talk about, Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston has had a pretty good past couple of games, okay? He's had a lot of stuff to overcome. He's missed some of his top targets. He's had a thumb injury. Things have been, rough in terms of obstacles for Jameis Winston. But so far, he's been clearing those obstacles time and time again. Well, now we're going to have another obstacle for Jameis Winston to jump over, because now, as of this game, both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to be out for the entirety of the game. Mike Evans, he is now on the injured reserve, and Chris Godwin, he is officially labeled as out for this game. Will he play in Week 17? I'm not sure. We're just going to have to wait and see on that. But Jameis Winston, he's without a lot of his weapons, and there have been talks of who's going to step up as pass catchers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the absence of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and we're going to have to wait and see. I have maybe a guy or two in mind here on my list, but yeah, things are definitely going to continue to be challenging for Jameis Winston moving forward. He's out of two of the best wide receivers in the entire NFL period, two Pro Bowl wide receivers. That's amazing in my opinion, and he's still dealing with a broken thumb. So a lot for Jameis Winston to overcome in this game. He does have a more favorable matchup versus the Houston Texans. Their secondary has not been the best this year, but still, Jameis Winston has a lot to overcome in this game. Let's start talking about some of those guys who could benefit from a lack of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in this game. First guy I want to mention, Brashad Perriman. He is essentially now the #1 wide receiver on the Buccaneers depth chart, with both those guys being labeled out. Behind him, you've got Justin Watson. Scotty Miller, I believe he is labeled out for this game as well. I believe they may have put him on the IR. I cannot confirm that, but I'm almost positive he is out for this upcoming game. So you have Brashad Perriman, Justin Watson, you have, who else? Ishmael Heyman, I believe, is also on the roster still. You have Spencer Snell. Spencer Snell came back to the roster. We talked about that in the game reaction live stream, or I believe the Victory Monday live stream. We talked about that, Spencer Snell coming back to the team. So hey, that actually happened, so that's awesome. Yeah, so the wide receiver core is thin. They don't have a whole heck of a lot of guys there, but they certainly have a lot of guys with a lot of potential. I loved Spencer Snell in the preseason and in training camp, so I'm excited to have him back on the roster. Ishmael, he got a opportunity last week, and he did some pretty decent things overall. I know he only had one catch, but geez, the guy had little to no time to prepare for playing in that game. Justin Watson, he's had his good moments in the second half of this season, and Brashad Perriman's been on a tear the last 3 weeks. So yeah, looking for all four of those guys to step up in the Buccaneers wide receiver core. We will have to wait and see how they do, but Brashad Perriman, he is essentially the leader of that group right now. Another guy who could benefit from Mike Evans and Chris Godwin being out is tight end O.J. Howard, who, admittedly, he has had an up and down year. Most definitely has had an up and down year, but I believe, I can't remember who exactly reported this, might have been Greg Allman, might have been Trevor Sikkema on Twitter, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I believe one of the reports was that Jameis Winston was talking to Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard at some point this week and said, hey, you guys are about to get the ball a lot, and it makes sense. Both those guys can really go whenever they need to in terms of being pass catching options. O.J. Howard is basically a wide receiver anyway, anyway. I saw last week versus the Detroit Lions, they had him out as a wide receiver in some areas. So that's just how athletic he is. And Cameron Brate has been, you know, so reliable for the Buccaneers for so many years now. The tight ends, I believe, are going to get most of the targets moving forward here with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out. Same with Brashad Perriman as well, and maybe a little bit of Justin Watson and the other guys I mentioned. But yeah, I'm excited to see how both O.J. Howard does and Cameron Brate, especially O.J. Howard, since he has had such an up and down year. Maybe he can finish strong for these last 2 games. Next guy I want to mention, Shaq Barrett, and it's the same story every week, but now the big difference is that he has tied the record right now. Shaq Barrett has now tied the sack record held by Warren Sapp. Shaq Barrett is at 16.5 sacks. The record's tied, guys. Shaq Barrett, the ball's in your court now, man. You just literally need half a sack more to break the record. You know, anything will essentially do. So he's probably going to do it in this game versus the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans do have a very, very much improved offensive line, especially the trade that they made with the Miami Dolphins earlier this year to acquire Laramie Tunsil, left tackle. He's one of the better younger left tackles in the entire league right now, but I trust Shaq Barrett. I think that the Buccaneers are going to put him in the best position to succeed in terms of getting sacks, getting pressure on quarterback Deshaun Watson, among other things. So I think he's going to break the record in this game. I know I've said that for like 3 games now, but this one, guys, I promise, you know, fingers crossed, I promise, I think he's going to do it this game. Second to last guy I want to talk about, Devon White. Can Devon White finish strong on a overall very solid rookie season? Okay, so the first half of Devon White's rookie season was, you know, marred by an injury. He had a knee injury that kept him out for, I believe, 2-3 games, and he came back, and ever since he's come back from that knee injury, the whole second half of this season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has almost basically been the Devon White, you know, showcase of this year so far. Him and Shaq Barrett especially, you know, they've been making so many amazing plays. Sean Murphy playing too, a lot of guys, but Devon White has just been playing so good, and he's had, you know, more hiccups in terms of getting ill last game versus the Detroit Lions, among, you know, maybe a little bit of something else here or there in terms of nagging pains and illnesses and stuff like that. But overall, Devon White's been killing it the second half of this year, so I want to see him fully healthy for these last 2 games. I want to see him finish strong because he has been so good. I can almost guarantee you if he didn't have that knee injury that kept him out for like 2 or 3 games, he would be probably the front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year, not Nick Bosa. So yeah, Devon White, finish strong, man, and build off of this amazing rookie season that you have had. Finally, last guy I want to talk about, Matt Gay. Matt Gay missed 1 kick versus the Detroit Lions. I believe it was a 54-yarder. I'm not going to knock him too much on that. It's hard to make those field goals. Not a lot of kickers can make those field goals. So, yeah, I'm not knocking Matt Gay too much on that, but the big question is can he rebound? You know, can he continue to be a very good kicker for the Buccaneers this year, by the way? Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Since that New York Giants game, Matt Gay has been phenomenal. He had a small hiccup versus the Lions. Can he rebound? I think he will, and he's been absolutely stellar this year. I know a lot of people, whenever I asked for who you guys should have thought, you know, would have went to the Pro Bowl, a lot of you said Matt Gay, and you know, I kind of agree with that. I really think that Matt Gay could have had a legitimate shot at the Pro Bowl. I don't think the kickers are going to skip out on the Pro Bowl, so it seems like Matt Gay won't be going. But you know what? He's had a very solid year so far this year. I believe he is at 86% completion for his field goals. So shout out to Matt Gay. Keep on building on your strong rookie season as well. But guys, that's it for this Players to Watch video. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, if you want to see me at the game, hold on. If you want to see me at the game, I will be wearing the number 15 Hill jersey. I hope to see a lot of you at the game. I know I posted this video super short notice, and, you know, the game is, I believe, you know, coming up very soon, like 13, 14 hours, something like that. But still, I want to get this video out because I'm OCD and I want to do this for every single week, and they're fun to do. So yeah, hope to see a lot of you guys at the game. Let me know all the players that you guys are looking out for down in the comment section below. Hope you guys all enjoyed. But until the next video or the next live stream, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.